season of movies is over, and typically around September time or so, you start to get some of the more independent movies, some of the movies that essentially no one really wants to watch. Today, I stumbled upon a little number called The Drop, which stars Tom Hardy, aka Bane, as most of you would know him, and also the late James Gandolfini. It's set in the year 2012, where there are a lot of gangsters and drug dealers making drops, obviously in the streets of Brooklyn, in this one bar called Marv's Bar. Now, James Gandolfini plays the, I guess, supporting role. He owns the bar where they make the drops, and Tom Hardy tends bar. The movie was very, very slow, but not slow in a negative way. For most of you popcorn eaters out there who love to see the explosions and the transformers, you know, you guys, it may go whoosh, whoosh. But at the same time, for those of you who appreciate a good storyline, this was, it wasn't anything new, wasn't anything spectacular, but it got the job done. Essentially, it was kind of like a, you know, you have a nice slow roast pork. A nice slow roast pork, you know, you put it in the slow cooker, you leave it for like a good 6 hours, let the taste really marinate in, and then when you finally get that bite, oof, it's exactly how the film was. Now, Tom Hardy's character is essentially the person who I guess manhandles the drops. He takes the cash, he puts it in there, he waits till the gangsters come back and you know, pick up the cash. The beginning of the film, obviously the drop goes wrong. Eventually they do find the money through some complications, and the film isn't actually about, you know, the main protagonist, or I guess anti-hero, which is Tom Hardy, who isn't, you know, your typical, you know, gangster, so to speak. You know, he plays a very mild-mannered, but he's mild-mannered, but at the same time you can see that there's something going on, and that's one of the reasons kind of why, you know, I do love Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy is a very, very cerebral actor. You know, he could fit into any role. If you look at Lawless, and then you look at, you know, the Dark Knight Rises, and then you look at Warrior, you know, essentially they're three different characters. You would never know he's British. Like, the man is full-blown British. Whenever you hear him on an interview, you know, like, oh, blimey, this guy is literally British. James Gandolfini, you know, he's always flawless. I can't remember the last film that I saw him in that was bad. You know, Tom Hardy did an incredible role. He strikes the obligatory romance with a lady who has a relationship with one of the, I guess, antagonists as the film progresses. I'm not going to give too much away. You know, it's not anything that, you know, I would personally buy on Blu-ray. If I was to rate this film, I'd definitely say it's something that you watch once, maybe, you know, another 7 years down the line, if you see it in the bargain DVD section, if DVDs are still around there for £2.99 or dollars, I would, you know, most definitely buy that. But, you know, for now, I would say, you know, the action ratio, I'd probably give that 1 gun. The romance ratio, I would give 1 kiss, as it's not really a romance. The storyline ratio, I would probably give, I'd give it 3 pens. We'll call it pens for now. You know, 1 or 2 clever plots and twists, but you know, for the most part, I think it was an interesting watch. I recommend everyone watch it, especially if you like Tom Hardy. I would recommend everyone watch it, especially if you like a nice, slow, drawn-out thriller. Again, not a lot of action, but I mean, there are some scenes that are just incredible. I mean, there's one scene where the gangster who they do the drop for comes into the bar. You know, I think he says like at least 10 words, but those 10 words are so powerful that it makes you think, my goodness, I do not want to be working for that guy. But, you know, the supporting actors definitely play their role well. And, you know, you can tell that this was a movie that was essentially made on a shoestring budget, because number one, it's Fox Searchlight. They specialize in independent movies. And number 2, I mean, I think there were literally only 5 or 6 scene settings. There was the bar, there was a street that, you know, Tom Hardy's character walked by, there was, you know, his love interest's house, his house, James Gandolfini's house, and that was it throughout the whole movie. And if that can catch your attention for 1 hour and 48 minutes, then that has to be a good bloody movie. So I'd probably give it like, you know, 3.5 stars, maybe 3 stars, just because I was entertained, but it wasn't anything original. It's not like I was like, whoa. Watch The Drop. It's a fantastic movie, good entertainment. If you want something a bit more fast paced, you can go and watch The November Man, and adios.